So there was a father and a son traveling in a car. Unfortunately, they get into a car accident.
Rushed to the hospital, but on the way to the hospital, the man dies.
So then they rushed the boy into the surgery to see if they could save him.
So the surgeon takes one look at him and says, I can't operate on this boy, he's my son.
Who is the surgeon?
I've heard this before, but I don't remember the answer.
The boy?
Other father?
The surgeon could actually be the father.
This is probably the hardest riddle I've ever had before.
I think I was considering taking physics at one point, and people were just like, ooh, are you sure that, like, you know, it's going to be like a lot of maths, a lot of testosterone, it's just going to be you, maybe not that much melanin there either.
If you could just tell us a little bit more about yourself and what you do.
Okay, so I'm Anna. I'm currently doing a PhD in Leeds, at the University of Leeds. It's a PhD in artificial intelligence for medical diagnosis and care. The patient themselves, us, we know what we're going through the most, and it's really using AI to enhance that voice so that we can really understand what patients, us, are saying to our GPs or about our journey, and then really using that, what we are saying, to look into what our health will be like following treatment, following diagnosis.
As a female, did you ever find anyone, you know, making you feel, whether from primary, secondary, wherever, making you feel that it's not really what you should be doing, even though it's not the sort of kind of path you should be exploring, wanting to know these sort of things?
I think it was A-levels maybe. I think I was considering taking physics at one point, and people were just like, ooh, are you sure that, like, you know, it's going to be like a lot of maths, a lot of testosterone, it's just going to be you, maybe not that much melanin there either. And I'm like, it's like, I'm aware, but, you know, once you're reading a textbook, it's just you in the textbook.
See, I think for black women, it's one thing, you know, should I say, overcoming the gender biases and racial biases. But I think for black women, there's that extra element of the hair. At what point did you embrace your natural hair? Or maybe you embraced your natural hair, I don't know, but at what point did you embrace your natural hair? And did you ever feel anxious about taking your natural hair to your workplace, even though it was a very sciencey sort of environment?
I mean, even now, on my course of 9 of us, I'm the only black woman arriving there and thinking, what would they think of my hair? I was concerned. I was like, oh man, I'm in the north. Like, I don't even know what it's like up here. Like, have they ever seen an afro? And so I did the thing of the gradual transition, like not to shock anyone. So, you know, you go from, I think I started with the wig. I kind of transitioned to braids, and then I'm just wearing my natural hair. And then people were just like, oh, you've changed hair, you've cut your hair. Oh, what? I had to explain to someone that what I was wearing was a wig, and they're like, I don't understand.
So what would you say then to another woman in probably your shoes, who's going to a workplace and she's not really sure, she's a bit anxious about her hair, or maybe even just a job interview? What sort of advice would you give her?
I would want to say, go in there how you could wish to continue. And to be honest, that is my first and foremost advice, like, go in as you wish to continue. But at the same time, I'm aware that it's not as easy as that all the time, because unfortunately things aren't progressing as quickly as they should. You might have to go in as you wish to continue a few more times. But you know, that is where I wish we could end up. And I mean, I guess that's part of it, is us being that change, like going as we wish to continue.
But then if you had the opportunity to speak to an employer or an organization where they probably have a dress code that is not very inclusive, what would you say to them?
I would like to tell them to reevaluate their dress code, what like how it's objectively discriminated against a subset of people. Like, this desired look, why is it desired? And what does that then mean for the person who isn't that desired look? Are you saying their whole existence isn't professional?
Finally, then, what advice would you give to young girls like you who probably think that maths is not for? I mean, maths is not for everybody. There are people, or I mean, STEM generally.
Yeah.
But there might be some who they could, progress in STEM, or they have an interest, but maybe they're not lucky enough, or people like you to have parents that would encourage them, or be around people that would encourage them. So if you had to encourage them, what would you say?
Be honest in the fact that not everyone's going to be for you.
True.
Be honest into the environment you'll potentially be going into, like prepare for the worst, hope for the best kind of thing. And then thinking about why you as an individual want to do STEM. Why, like, it might just be that you're good at it, you enjoy it. Like, those are good enough reasons as any. I mean, it's been fine up until now, why not further along?
And thank you so much. It's been a lovely interview. It's really lovely talking to you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The mother. You're too clever.
That was very simple. I understand how I didn't get that.
That's his mom.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got me, okay.